Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
Want to start your own podcast and not know where to start? Well, Zencastr makes the process quick and painless. They provide crystal clear sound and gorgeous HD video. Not to mention there is no downloading required. Just click and start recording.
What about when you need to record remotely like we do with our podcast? Well, we started this podcast by using Zoom, and we quickly found out that Zoom isn't great when it comes to podcasting. This is where Zencastr comes to play its role. Zencastr is all about making your podcasting experience easy, and with everything from local recording to automatic post-productions in the tool, you don't have to leave your browser to get the episode done. Start using Zencastr today for free and upgrade to the premium version whenever you're ready. There's no regular commitment and no hidden fees. If you go to zencastr.com/pricing and enter the promo Gen Zers to Rise 0, you'll get 30% off your first 3 months. That's zen.ai/Gen Zers to Rise 0. It's time to share your story.
This podcast is a Vasilis Scarlys production.
Hello everyone, I'm Kennedy.
And I'm Vasilis.
We run Changemaker Z, a student-run initiative that aims to empower, educate, and connect Gen Zers interested in entrepreneurship.
We interview teenagers with impactful projects and create resources to help you change the world. If they can do it, so can you.
On this podcast, we discuss the logistics of creating different types of projects with Gen Zers who have already done it. We will leave our social media and website information in the description.
Welcome everyone to today's episode. Today we are talking with Ariana Motlach about an important initiative. Ariana is a high school student and organ donation advocate. She is the founder of South Florida's first SODA, which is the initials for Student Organ Donation Advocates chapter, a volunteer and ambassador for her local OPO, Right Alliance at the University of Miami. And in her free time, she is organizing education events. Today's episode is all about organ donation organizations. Welcome to the show, Ariana. So nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so excited to have you here. So let's get started. Can you tell us more about the Student Organ Donation Advocates? Which is your mission?
Sure. So SODA is a national organization dedicated to organ donation specifically for high school and college students. Their mission is to open chapters at high schools and colleges around the U.S. And student leaders organize events and educational drives at their schools.
That's awesome. I did just want to kind of, you said in your intro, we kind of talked about how you were a local OPO at University of Miami. I just want to say my brother actually went there. So go Hurricanes.
Wow.
Do you have any plans? Yeah.
I actually, it's one of the schools that I do have in mind to apply to because it's an amazing university and it's really close by.
Yeah, the Miami campus is beautiful. It's like you're on vacation. Palm trees everywhere, beautiful. Yes. But there are little geckos running around, geckos. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're full of them here in South Florida. You get used to them. You walk down the street and they're just running around under your feet.
Yeah, it's like ants for Florida. That's so funny. So Ariana, how did you get started with SODA?
So before I started with SODA, I started volunteering for Life Alliance, my local OPO. And if anyone doesn't know what an OPO is, they're organ procurement organizations. And they have jurisdiction over regions, and they're all across the U.S. And I started volunteering for them because my dad told me about them, and I was really interested in the mission. And being a really young volunteer at the time, I was a high school freshman. So they told me about SODA. They introduced me to the people who work for SODA, and it seemed like a really great club, and I haven't seen anything like that here in Florida. And so I started working with SOTA, and this was my freshman year, actually. I started the chapter freshman year. I gathered some friends that I knew would be interested, and it was a really easy process. We started a chapter with one of my teachers that I'm close with.
That's amazing. In my high school, I didn't, but like some of my friends started this BC2M chapter, which is a mental health organization. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing that you brought it to Florida.
It's amazing how many different initiatives we can see that starts from school and then they take a more and more bigger, role in people's lives. Would you like to share some of your most important accomplishments?
Sure. So specifically for a chapter, this year has been a really good year for us. For example, for National Donor Day, which was February 14th on Valentine's Day as well, we did an event at our school where we made a banner, a photo banner type thing, and we wrote on it, "I'm a lifesaver." And it was shaped like a lifesaver, like the candies. And we had people come by, take pictures with them, and it was amazing the amount of students we were able to educate. One of our big accomplishments is our peer speakers program, where we train like a few students. And I actually train them personally, and we go virtually into our classrooms a few times into the year, and we take around 45 minutes to just talk about organ donation with the students.
That's incredible, because I personally, I kind of know a surface level about organ donation. I'm actually an organ donor myself, just because it's like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna be gone. Why not help somebody else? But
yeah, that's a great way of thinking about it, and it is kind of difficult to get that message across, especially to younger people like us. Because sometimes it's hard to understand it, and maybe for some people who have a personal connection to it like I do, or for example the founder of SOTA, the organization in the US, she also had a personal story with it when she started her chapter, right? So it's really good for us to be able to communicate that to some other classmates or friends.
If you're comfortable, do you mind sharing your story, or even if I donate, if I become an organ donor, how can I help? What?
Oh, that's great. That's one of the big statistics we share, is that one person, when they pass away, they can save up to 8 lives. Because there's the organs you can donate, for example, your heart, you have 2 kidneys, livers. The thing about livers, you can donate to multiple people. And then you can enhance, I believe, up to 70 or more lives. What that means is organ donation, there's also tissue donation, which includes your skin, your corneas, things like that, which can enhance people's lives. For example, survivors of burns, or some people who have gone blind, they can help them with your corneas. For me personally, you asked, my story is that my dad is on the national waiting list for a kidney transplant. And so he was the one who introduced me to Life Alliance, and that's how it started for me.
That's incredible that we can help 8 people with just our organs, up to 70 people with skin tissue. I didn't even think about the whole skin tissue thing for burn victims. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how one person can help so many people.
We have never think of that before. While this is such an important action, many people are afraid to get involved due to several dangers or other factors. Maybe there are psychological factors. What have you say about that?
There are definitely a lot of psychological factors, like you said. Just the thought alone of passing away and having them do the surgeries and things like that, for some people it's difficult to think about, which is a big reason that a lot of people are afraid, as you said, to step forward. And even registering as an organ donor, there are so many myths. For example, a really common myth we get is that if I have the registration logo on my license, and if something happens to me, for example, in an accident, and the EMT and the doctor see that, they're not going to save my life, which is completely
That's
not
literally
true.
what my mom told me.
Yeah, it's really common, and it's not true. EMT doesn't even know, or the doctors don't even know that you're a registered organ donor. Or a lot of times when you're in an emergency and you go to the ER, you're basically a John Doe. They don't even know who you are unless you tell them that. And until the time you pass away, that's when they're gonna find out. And it's literally their job to save your life, and that's always the priority. Along with so many other myths, including religion, and which is a big reason some people don't step forward. But it's something that at least most the major religions in the US encourage.
The whole if you you're gonna get a piece of that person or their personality or something like that.
I've actually never heard that one, but I guess some people do think that.
Are there any other myths that would you like to share?
For some, this is mostly I believe, older people, is that if I pass away and they have to do, obviously, surgeries and things for tissue and organ donation, that it's going to dismantle the body, or, I won't be able to have an open casket funeral, which is also not true, because they do their best to take the best care of your body, and it can all be covered up, the scars or anything.
That's good to know. So now that we've kind of busted some myths, we're feeling better, we're feeling good, we're educating ourselves about organ donating, how can we get involved? I know you kind of talked about, you got to register. But even if there's a SOTA chapter near somebody, how can we get involved?
Well, the first thing definitely is to register as an organ donor. And we don't always try to push people to register as an organ donor, especially if you're under 18, because that's a discussion you want to have with your family as well. Because even if you register, you don't need their consent to register. But if something is to happen to you, they're the ones that are going to make the final decision. So it's always important. Yeah, for minors, that's the case. And it's always important to talk to your family. I think those are the first 2 steps everyone should take. And for SOTA specifically, if your school already has a chapter, you can definitely, of course, join it. They do a lot of activities. You can follow them on social media. If you would like to start a chapter at your school or university or college that doesn't have one, it's a really quick and easy process, and SOTA National is very friendly and open. All you have to do is go through their website. If you Google SOTA National, it will pop up. And you just have to complete a form, and you need 3 other people who would be willing to start it with you.
That's so cool. And that doesn't sound that hard. You guys, I feel like we can all find maybe 2 or 3 people interested in something like this. So I give a challenge, guys. Let's try to, if this is interesting to you, this sounds like something you want to do, start a SOTA chapter at your school. If you don't have one, start it and start educating people about organ donating. It's so important, as we heard.
Yeah, it saves lives. And if you're interested in seeing, for example, what my chapter does, you can always check out our Instagram at SOTA_MPSHS, or go to SOTA National's Instagram as well. They have a lot of information.
Now I want to know, has your work with, SOTA, I know you said you're thinking about going to University of Miami. Are you thinking of pursuing a career in maybe the medical field, or continuing your advocacy in the future at all?
For my career, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I know I wanted to go into the science field, but I'm not totally sure about the medical field.
Me right now, should I change my major to marketing or what? Or should I change it to...
I'm going to have that thought, because I was thinking of going into biology. And as we all know, it's not a very easy subject because of the pre-med. And then for continuing my advocacy, of course, I don't think I'm going to stop even when I go to the university.
And we can do it. You can do SOTA on college campuses, right?
Yeah, you can open chapters at high schools, colleges, and universities.
So, which actions are you taking to educate students about the critical need of organ tissue, for instance?
I do some stuff outside of my chapter. For example, I'm part of the Pinecrest Youth Advisory Council. That's a village where I live in right now. And the past year and this year, I've been able to organize a virtual event and once a year talking about organ donation, and we bring in a guest speaker to educate the youth in the community about organ donation. This year, something huge we did was I set forward a proclamation to have an organ donation day on April 8th in Pinecrest, and it recently just got approved, so that's amazing news, and it's next week. And in our chapter, we do a lot. As I mentioned, we do the peer speakers, and we did events like National Donor Day. We do tabling, for example. Earlier this year, our school had a blood drive, and we set up a table there, and when people passed by, we handed out flyers and some goodies, like pens, stickers, all that good stuff. Something else we're doing this week is that we are doing a door decoration contest at our school for National Kidney Month. And we have, I believe, 11 clubs participated at our school where they decorated the teachers' doors, educating people about kidney donation and fun facts. So March was National Kidney Month, and April is Donate Life Month.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Ariana, for coming with us. That's the end of the episode today. We talked a little bit about the SOTA organization, about organ donating, how to start a chapter in your school. So if any of that interests you, we're going to have all of her links in the description. And if you want to start an organization at your own school, you can definitely do that. So until next time, guys, keep changing the world. Bye. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed our conversation. We had such a great time. Make sure to leave us a review. If you want more Changemakers content, you can follow us on Instagram at Gen Zers to Rise and on Facebook at ChangemakersZ.